Okay, guys, hi. Back again here, finally from the phone, and I hope we will be able to add him and send in the request. You can see the request. So, Dajit, if you're there online, if you come online, I can add you. Uh, and if you can send me a request to be online. Can't see any viewers. Can't see any viewers. You have to invite. Just give me. So yeah, I can see some people from my store. Satyajit, if I can add you now, if you can come here from your personal account, if you're watching this, I can add you now. So it will be great if not able to. You can see Mayuresh, see Rajiv, but I'm not able to see add. Yeah, I think now I'll be see the message. Yeah, I think so. Now I'm adding him finally. Now we can go live.
Yeah, hi.
Hi Satyajit. First of all, sorry, there was a
Fine.
glitch. We were trying to figure out which is the best possible way. We tried it through the laptop, and finally we are here from the phone.
It's
And
absolutely fine.
yeah, so sorry very much for keeping you wait, and also to our audience who are waiting to hear from you. So
Yes,
let's just begin because we already lost some time. So we need to cover
yes,
up.
please. Yeah.
So first of all,
Absolutely.
welcome. On behalf of
Thank
Decathlon our
you.
city, welcome, and thank you very much for taking out time and talking to us about football post COVID, and also
Yeah.
about how you are at Orange Academy going to do things. So what are your SOPs going to be so that the kids who come there are going to be safe, and parents are going to be assured that yes, the kids are going to be safe when they come and play the sport that they love. So audience, thank you very much for joining. If you have any questions, please comment, and we will get those questions to Satyajit, and he will answer them for you. Also, please stick around. We have a surprise for you at the end of the video when once we go. So please stick around, and we'll let you know what that is. And so, Satyajit, I'll just give you a brief introduction about yourself to our audience here. So, Satyajit
Yeah.
here is the founder of Orange Academy, and he's done his master's from Northumbria University, that is MSc in Sports Management, and he's been in the UK. So, Satyajit, can you tell us more about your sports adventure in the UK, and also how you came to India, and just a brief introduction about yourself to start on with.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, I'm the founder of the Orange Academy. I have done my master's in international sports management from UK, as well as I have a FA license in football coaching. So, like, I've been into football since I was young, enjoyed playing, enjoyed watching. Gradually, after playing, started training a few kids in my
Okay.
locality. Yeah, and these things started giving me results. Like the kids got selected for their respective teams, so
Uh-huh.
it gave me an is working out, my procedures work. Like it is helping me to create people who can actually play at a very young
Okay.
age. So, like my background, basically, I'm a mechanical engineer. So after this, I decided, I have to do something in football. So this is when
Okay.
my parents supported me, and like I went to UK. The main intention actually was to do my football coaching certificate. And
Uh-huh.
like since I was there, I was like, okay, it's better to get an idea about the admin part as well, which you like for like that made me consider the master's course. And yeah,
Okay.
it helped me a lot. Like it gave me an insight into coaching as well as the management part of football. So
Okay.
back to India, work at the grassroots level, try to impart the education that I have had and like transfer it basically to kids. So
Correct.
started the Orange Academy, started with a few kids, like 3 kids, and today
Okay.
we have an organization. Like we have a lot of kids coming in from different age groups. Like we have the youngest ones are almost 2.5. So that is
Okay.
where we don't do football. It's basically training them with their motor skills, and
Okay.
then all the way to your professional teams. Yeah.
So great, great story. By the way, it is already inspiring a lot of our viewers, and it is certainly inspiring me. Because like you, I had also had the opportunity, to go to UK and study. So completely understand, the things that
Yes.
are there. How you can bring it here, and how you have changed it. So on that front, can you tell us what is your opinion? I wanted to know your opinion on Indian football at the moment, and also Mumbai football. We've heard a lot about Mumbai football, but
Yeah.
first, if you can talk about Indian football, what is your opinion? Where it is, and where it can go,
Yeah.
and also then about Mumbai football.
See, Indian football has progressed a lot over the last few years. Like after the ISL, like when the ISL started, like people started taking more interest in football.
Okay.
Like if you see, there aren't many international players playing outside India, but still
Uh-huh.
the level of viewers, like football fans, basically that you have in India, like India is one of the biggest bases when it comes to European football followers.
Correct.
So you have to use this as a springboard to like basically increase the interest and then convert them into the footballing talent that we have. And recently, India
Correct.
has done really good. Like we have a captain like Sunil Chhetri, like doing. We are not, we still not there, but we are on the right path.
Correct.
So the entire format, like, see, it's a slow process. It is going to take time, but
Correct.
we are on the right path as of now. And
Okay.
like you can say, like we are based in Mumbai, so there are many cities, metropolitan cities, where at grassroots, there is a strong foundation that's been set up. Like
Correct.
major companies like Reliance and all are helping a lot in establishing football at grassroots level. And there's a lot of talent. Like if you go to local tournaments, youth level tournaments, uh,
Mm-hmm.
there's uh, like a huge potential on the ground. When you see kids playing football at the age of 6 and 7, you're amazed. Like, and that gives you the feeling like maybe, like hopefully, touch wood, in the next 20 years, we will be there. We'll be participating
Be there.
amongst the heavy hitters in football. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Mumbai football, especially doing well in the last 3 4 years, it has picked up. And like you
Okay.
see, like it makes me very happy because in India, like cricket is an obsession for people, but now
Mm-hmm.
football is picking up, and like it's gone to the rural areas as well, and you have a lot of
Correct.
crazy talent coming out. And hopefully all these things converts and then materializes into a beautiful team, and we get to watch our team India playing the World Cup.
True.
Yes.
Like you said, you just mentioned that Team India playing the World Cup, because I remember Sunil Chetri's one of his interview. He said that he wants to play, and he wants to take India to the World Cup. So that
Yes.
is something that we all hope, and we are all cheering, because what I see now is a shift in
Yeah.
the trend, because even the under 17 World Cup, which was there in India,
Yes.
it was such a big hit. It had the most number of spectators, and they've had under 17 all across the globe, but it was India where they found the right amount of spectators coming to the ground and watching the game. So it was a huge hit.
Absolutely,
And also
absolutely. Yeah.
one more thing you also mentioned about ISL, and one great fact, comes to my head, and I remember this particular match. So we all know about, there are a lot of football fans watching us, surely knowing about the North London derby that is between Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal. And it was
Yes.
there on a Sunday. And there was also the South Indian derby in the ISL between Kochi and Chennai FC. And the capacity of Tottenham at that moment was around 60,000, and we had around 63,000 coming in for that particular game. So the
Wow.
shift has been great. We've
Yeah,
always
yeah,
seen
yeah,
IPL
absolutely.
doing
No,
so
no.
great.
See, the thing is, the amount of viewers, like you can say, the number of people coming in watching games, you can say, is like directly proportional to the amount of interest that people nowadays have in this sport. And see,
Mm,
to be very honest, football is the most followed sport across the globe.
correct,
Yeah, and it will. The only major difference that has happened in the recent years is people are taking it seriously, and like there's been a professional outlook for football. Like
correct,
parents now consider, no, if my kid actually plays football, there's a chance that he will become and he will have a career. Because any
correct,
sport, if you practice it religiously, is going to give you success and you're going to earn.
correct.
But you need to have that mindset of, okay, no, I'm serious about it, so let's go get it.
Correct. And coming to the career path, one more thing, we've seen a lot of these European clubs coming and setting up their grassroots academies in India and taking
Yeah.
our players, outside, for that experience, which is,
Yes.
because I remember Liverpool having their academy in Pune, Barca, starting their academies all across
Yes.
India. So it's a really good, right step in, for India in terms of football.
See, because it works both ways. Because India, like we've got a huge population. We are a 130 crore
Correct.
population.
Correct.
So obviously there's talent, but the thing is, if you look for it in the right areas, if you give
Correct.
them that proper technical education at a very young age, you ought to
Mm-hmm.
get, like, you're definitely going to get good players, and that is
Correct.
where, like, people see it as an opportunity, and I see it as an opportunity the other way, wherein our coaches, our local coaches, they also get to work with
Mm-hmm.
these organizations and they learn.
Absolutely.
So the more they learn, the more knowledge is spread across. Like it goes
Correct.
from one, it's a chain, it's a chain. Like when it starts with one person and gradually it culminates into a whole community.
Correct. Correct.
And I
True.
just hope that we follow football in India as a community, like how you have fans for clubs across the globe. Because in
Yeah.
India, there's still a thing wherein we support a European club more than a local club.
Correct.
And yeah, one more thing about Mumbai football is I hope, like, apart from ISL, Mumbai soon has an I League team as well. Because right
Correct.
now Mumbai doesn't have, we hosted a few I League games at Cooperage, but it is
Okay.
important that we have an I League team of our own, because is a lot of local talent which
Correct.
needs that opportunity, and having a team from Mumbai and local players playing here will give us,
Uh huh.
like, obviously it will inspire us. You can have young kids going and watching their games at Cooperage or Andheri Sports
Correct.
Complex, wherever the matches are held. So that is the
Correct.
kind of exposure that the people or the young kids or the talented youth footballers they need at this moment. So I
True.
wish
Very
Mumbai
true.
soon gets an I League team.
And I think so. You are also, you are also helping somewhere because just coming now to Orange Academy. Can you tell us the motivation behind, how you started Orange Academy? And I also, we had a conversation earlier. You told me about your teams that you have in other leagues. So if you can just give a brief about your academy, how you came about it, and
See, the thing is, after coming back from the UK, I basically see the culture when you play as a player and when you actually train kids, it's very different. So the
correct.
setup these days, it's there. Mumbai actually lacks infrastructure when you say like big
Mhm.
grounds. So basically, we've got a lot of turfs where you start training kids. So
Correct.
these turfs are basically five-a-side or six-a-side grounds. Uh, so
Correct.
till the age of 10, it's easy to train on these surfaces. But once they cross the age of 10, you actually need to give them big grounds.
Ah,
So yeah, there are a few clubs. Like for us, we are lucky enough we have a ground wherein is huge. So uh, like from 10 onwards, we've got a lot of players training on this particular ground and helps us to train them. Because whatever you do, like you can't train a kid on a five-a-side ground and then expect results on a 11-a-side,
correct.
because the distance and the, you can say, the big ground, like once you step on the ground and you see this huge playing field, it
Correct.
it affects you mentally, because you
Yeah,
need
it
to put
does.
in effort. Yeah, and
Correct.
the whole idea was, see, once we started the academy and so the first 1 year we were just training kids because it
Hmm.
takes time. See, you can train a player like, but once you get him to play matches, that is one thing like we all die for. Like even at this age, we want to play matches, but the thing is, the
Correct.
training part of it is equally important. Like matches, it is going to help you with your decision making, but all the
Hmm.
mistakes that you do, you come back to the training ground, yeah, and you actually improve it over there. But what happens
Correct.
is once you get the kids to play, getting them back to train, like it looks kind of boring. So
Okay.
this is one thing. So what we insisted on was for the first 1 year, we trained very hard. We got our
Mm-hmm.
academy kids to a good level. Then we won the Adidas Uprising. This was a small tournament we played, and
Nice.
our team won. So it showed us that okay, there is like we are doing something which is right. So the next year
Correct.
we started with the first team, which is the MDFA is the local division. Like it
Correct.
is the Mumbai District Football Association, that is the football
Mm-hmm.
governing body over there under the
Yes.
WIF. So we enrolled, like we put in our team for the third division. The first year playing all our coaches and all our academy players. Like there were no
Okay.
trials. There were no trials. These are all players from part of our family, Orange family. So
Okay.
got promoted to the second division. Then seeing the level of performance like that our kids were doing because they started playing for their college teams and started
Ah,
excelling. We went ahead and we got our first division team.
great.
So then we had three divisions again because we see, for me the idea is to have a constant uh, chain wherein my academy feeds my Orange FC club. So the Orange
Mm-hmm.
Football Club has all players coming from the academy who are 14 to 16-year-olds. Like this year
Great.
in the second division playing against men, we had six 14-year-olds. So
Ah,
because this is where we pride ourselves. And
okay.
finally, this year we have a team in the elite division, which is the topmost division in Mumbai football. From where,
Okay.
like, if you play well and if you qualify, there it opens up your route towards I League Two and your I League.
Correct.
And
Correct.
again, like we are proud, like whenever the season starts, like I think my boys are ready, and we are going to play kids from our academy. So they
Great.
are at that level, and we are very confident with how we have trained them. So these kids, when I say they've been with me since they were 11, and now they're
Ah,
18, 19. So it's been a process that they've gone through. And yeah,
correct.
we've got
It's like a culture that
junior
you
teams
built,
as well
isn't
have
it?
done
It's
very
like a
well.
culture that
Yeah,
you built with them, like
yes.
right
See,
through so many years.
yeah, because the thing is, tomorrow if a player does very well and considering how the ISL works, like it is a culture. So the
Ah,
players, like the sooner you give them that approach as to how it is when you go to the topmost level, the better it becomes. Because you don't want
correct.
your player to have a cultural shift when you go from a lower league to a higher league, because then it
Highly.
becomes difficult for them to adapt. So this
Yeah.
is we are trying to bridge that gap. And yeah, we would want to go ahead. We want to go ahead from here. Like elite division, we want to push and like take it ahead. We want
Correct.
to start that. Here we have a loyal set of like players, fans, we can
Players.
say, and supporting us. So we want to take it ahead from.
Great. So I
Yes,
think we are going to see Orange Academy soon, either in the I
hopefully.
League or in the ISL if
Maybe
possible.
we wish, and we are definitely going to try like as much as we can push it ahead. And
Uh-huh.
if not, like the best players that we have, we are going to prepare them so that tomorrow they are good enough to play at a higher level. If
Correct.
we can't provide
Correct.
them that opportunity, we'll ensure that they can step up
They can.
and play
Also,
well and make a name for themselves.
one more thing that comes to my mind is, a sentence from one of the clubs that I support, Manchester United, and a lot of people were saying that, you cannot win with kids, and they proved it wrong. And you are actually,
Yeah,
letting
absolutely.
them, going through that, even if it is a kid, and he can play at that level, and he can do wonders in India at least to start off
See,
with.
I feel every player who's playing today or become who's a great player was once an academy player.
Exactly.
So he's made his path. So if I am doing something really good today, I expect my academy kid to have to do it in the same way. But the only thing that he lacks is that opportunity.
Correct.
So unless he gets that opportunity, you are never going to see what kind of a player
Going
he
to.
turns out to be. So this is
Correct.
what like we definitely we try and to push,
Mm-hmm.
because end of the day the results on the ground with our academic kids is going to show. It is going to be the barometer which tells me how good are we at training our kids. If they
Correct.
make it, we are doing something good. If not,
Correct.
then we have to put more effort and start doing
Correct.
it well.
Correct. But like you said, I think it's a process, and it has to start soon rather than late. And I think so you are
Yes.
giving these kids the opportunity to start earlier and then go through
Yes.
the various stages that it does. Because I remember even when I was a kid and I started playing football, it was under 12, under 14, then and then finally, when before going to the UK, I finally played in the elite division club, and it was a very different feeling. It is
Yes.
it is like playing in the English Premier League, obviously, when you're playing in Pune. So
Yeah, at a
I
level that
completely
we have,
understand.
definitely. Yeah.
It has been great. But what I want to ask you, just you can give an insight, about your own club. How many kids do you have? How many coaches do you have? What is the ratio of kids
Yes.
to each coach?
Uh, yes. So, see, like I said, we start with the under five batch, where the youngest kid, like we basically
Uh-huh.
give out trials because to see because every kid is different. A 3 year
Correct.
old might play, but the first thing you want to see if there's an interest, whether he's
Ah,
actually going to opt for the sport, does he want to do it, or whether it's the parent actually asking the kid to do it.
correct.
So there are trial sessions, and once they agree to it, like the younger age groups, we follow a ratio of 1:5.
Mm,
But every coach has got an assistant coach to help him because these
correct.
kids
Uh-huh.
need more attention. And the coach ratio
Mm,
gradually decreases like as the age group increases. Like
correct.
you cannot have too many people giving instructions at the age group under 14 and under 16. There it's one coach
You
giving
want
out.
them to flourish on their own, make mistakes,
Yes.
learn from it, isn't it?
Yeah. No, and you actually create confusion if too many people are talking at the
Too
same
many.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the young age, the coach ratio, like if there are 20 kids, you need to have four coaches. And
Correct.
at the from the age of 16, like where you actually make that step up to the youth league under 18, and then to
Correct.
the reserve squad or the main squad, you need one or two coaches at the most. Yeah,
Okay.
but
Okay.
we have to ensure that all the coaches are basically role models and they're good enough. Like the kids
Correct.
actually look up to them and want to follow them.
Correct.
So this has
Yeah.
always been our try, and yeah, it has given us results. Like our under 18 this year actually performed very well. Like
Okay.
it was a treat because not about the results, because the results happen, and like you said, it's a process, and
Correct.
everyone has to trust the process.
Correct.
Because all of a sudden one day, because there have been instances where we have seen like a young kid, like you don't know what that kid is going through or what is the mental pressure. Like for a lot of
Correct.
kids, they want to go in and play, but what happens is if they are not ready and they step in and they don't perform well, they actually like straight away lose interest in sport. So
Correct.
this is what you
Correct.
don't want. But like trying to convey this message to parents, because
Hmm.
uh, trying to convince parents, because for every parent their kid is special. So
Yeah.
it is a very fine line, but we have successfully, like, we have had issues obviously, but we try to deal with it, and we have ensured that everyone takes it like in a positive way. And yeah, I should admit we are very lucky. Parents are very supportive, because the first thing that we do when they join us is we explain them the process. Because
Correct.
after some time, because after a few years, see, initially every kid joins you from like from a fitness point of view, or for a lot of parents it's a social interaction that's important for them, or it's a recreational sport for them. But gradually the parent is going to question you, like he's been there for a long time, why is he not playing?
Correct. What is it? Yeah.
And my coaches, one thing that I have ensured is like an academy runs not only because of the team that represents the academy. The academy runs when there are maybe 100 kids. So it is your job that all the 100 kids learn football, not just the
Correct.
main team that learns football.
Correct.
Because our job is to increase the number of players and the talent pool and then choose from them. Because
Correct.
what I have observed, like the difference between India and UK is, in UK the focus is on all the players, and in India, like especially like the mindset is okay, your first team because you showcase them and then you get more kids. But the point is
More
every
kids.
kid has to improve.
Yep.
They at least play to the best level of their ability someday,
Correct.
somewhere. But they have to play at that level. Not all
At their
players are
level.
Messi, but still
Yeah.
they
Because
play to the
I
best.
remember, that example you just gave me. I remember, one of my coaches telling me that, Karthik, you do not, learn by sitting on the bench. You only learn when you play. So go
Yes,
always to a team, go always to an academy where you'll get to play, because that is when you
yes,
will make, those mistakes and you'll learn. And also on the fact that you were just saying, I think so the right education, to these kids is very important. They get the education, right education in schools. But now, like you said, sport and particularly football has been, started to be seen as a profession. it is very important to give that right education, and right education is not only the
Yes.
technical aspect of it, but the physical, what is needed, what to
Everything,
eat,
and I would
how
say
to
the
rest.
social values as well, like what it is to
Yeah,
be a player, what it is to play in a team, and how do
correct,
you take winning and losing as well. Like
correct,
you can't be bitter when you lose, and you can't boast when you win. Like there are going to be
correct.
bad days, but it is like winning gives you, like losing is always an experience that will help
Experience.
you
True.
to enjoy it and relish it more when you win.
Correct.
Yeah.
True. Very true. Now, just coming to know, to the main topic.
Yeah.
We have been in this lockdown since past 4 months, and we are
Yeah.
still in it, and we are hoping
Yes.
soon we will start opening up. But I just wanted to know, how has this situation, COVID situation, been for your academy? How has it been? If you can just explain to all of us.
See, it's been to be very honest, it's been very difficult because
Mhm.
see, everything is a give and take, and like in football also, like we as coaches, a coaching academy, there are coaches like, and there are parents, there are coaches, there are kids involved. So
Mhm.
financially, it's been a very bad time. Because and as well as our interaction with kids, like something we used to do it on a daily
True.
basis, as completely like it abruptly came to a halt.
Correct.
So we are missing the kids, but yeah, everywhere it's been downhill. But you try to get up, uh, shake up yourself, and then try to do whatever possible, like to like rise again from it.
Yeah, you see the
And
light at the end of the tunnel, isn't it?
yeah,
The positive
obviously,
side of
see,
it.
it is going to start someday, and you have to be
Correct.
ready for it. You can't be down. After this situation, we have analyzed, and we've come to know to the conclusion that there are a lot of things that can be done online, because because of
Correct.
the schedule of kids, we don't have a lot of time with them during the week. Kids are
Correct.
engaged with school activities, other extracurricular activities. So
Correct.
how do you, because see, honestly, when the kid is in a like he's growing, and in that phase he has to play every day, but that's not possible right now. So
Correct.
now we have realized that apart from the days we actually train them, the other days we can have a small online session for them. So it is something we
Correct.
don't want to stop when everything recovers and comes back to normal. We want to
Okay.
include
So
these sessions so that we can talk to them. Yeah.
yeah. So on this online, because now online is a word, that is trending all over the world because of this
Yes.
COVID situation. So how have you? Because are starting to take online classes. Teachers are learning. So how has your academy done that? How has your academy gone over the online classes?
See, the first time the lockdown was announced, like you say, you plan as to when the lockdown is going to open up. So we
Correct.
waited for the first 15 days, then it got extended. So we were always in that idea that it's going to open up and we might start again. But then
Correct.
we gradually realized the gravity of the situation, and we understood. We got that we had to face that harsh truth that it was going to take a lot of time before we actually go back to the ground. So that is when we realized, no, we have to do something online because it's been a while. And like kids are not used to,
Correct.
even they are used to going to the ground, meeting their friends, playing, enjoying the sport, which was not
Correct.
possible. So then we finally came to the conclusion, no, we have to, like we have an app for our kids as well, because it was planned last year, but now it is like we are we are launching it with the parents, and that will help us with direct interaction with all our kids that we have.
Great.
So we came up
Okay.
with the idea. So the first thing that we did was we got in touch with all our kids. So we made the various age groups, batches, and all, and we were ready. And we intimated all the parents, okay, we are going to start soon. And the kids were
Correct.
excited because they were going to see familiar faces after a long time.
Correct. Correct.
Uh, Again, like you know, all the kids like who enjoy football, they have their own football at home. So
Correct.
again, we are actually going to use it because we got complaints. The kids are breaking stuff at home. They're playing juggling. So there is a lot of physical energy, and you actually have to exert it in a particular way.
Yeah.
But
Channel
this
it
is the first
basically.
time yeah. But this was the first time where, see, we don't know, because outdoor activity and indoor activity is different. We don't know how much is good enough for them. And
Correct.
like you say, apart from the physical activity, there is a WHO guideline as well as to how much screen time do the kids need.
Correct.
So the first thing before, like after making our schedule and all, the first thing we did was we got in touch with our nutritionist, our dietitian,
Mm-hmm.
physiotherapist, an eye specialist, a doctor, and like we basically got a consultation as to how much is good enough for them. See, because
Correct.
even with like we got in touch with a fitness expert as well, because
Uh-huh.
kids doing it on the ground, stretching and then playing is different, and getting them because the form and posture we can't actually personally guide them.
Correct. Correct.
Then you
True.
don't know like if parents are working, who's going to assist the kid while actually training alone.
Correct.
So you don't want to
Correct.
do anything that's wrong and actually going to like work out, pan out in a wrong way towards the end.
Wrong way.
So we
True.
made our
True.
curriculum. We started interacting with them. So the sessions were
Mm-hmm.
not only about just working out. And yeah, one thing that we did was we understand it is a very difficult time economically for us, and vice versa, it's difficult for parents as well. So we ensured all the classes that we do till the time everything gets back to normal, all the classes are free and it's open for all.
Correct.
We would
Correct.
want maximum participation because we don't know, like, see, there is a case like we can't generalize, but there might be an academy that is facing even more problems than us, and
Can
it's
I?
difficult for them to get back. But they are kids. The minimum that we can do is help them physically to maintain their fitness, as in when
Correct.
their academy
Correct.
comes back. So this is an initiative that our coaches came up with it, and I was really happy with the intention
Great.
behind it. Yeah, and see, so and one more thing I would like to add is the students have been really cooperative. Like all the
Uh,
students, like from the younger ones to the older ones, they've been really cooperative. So
correct.
we've used this time. But for the younger ones, what we do is we record sessions as well. So because now with schools and all starting, kids have a lot of screen time. So parents might not be happy with them spending some more time. So what we do is we record sessions and send them so
Correct.
they can do it when they are free. The parents can actually
Screen
help
free.
them to do it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So
And
basically, you're
we have
also
tried
making
to
the
do it.
parents a coach kind of. You're kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
making them a
definitely.
coach too.
See,
Yeah.
because all the stakeholders have to be involved, like for the
Correct.
benefit of the kid. We can be the guiding light for them, but for everything to be executed, because the kids spend most of their time with their parents, and they can get them to
Correct.
do whatever they would want or they feel is right for them.
Correct.
So we've tried to use all the online modalities that was possible for us. Like you can suggest YouTube videos so they can watch. See, because I don't
Hmm.
want this to be only a fitness class. So we are doing football training as much as possible, which is close
Correct.
control. But apart from that, we have done a lot of groundwork. Wherein this is the time for the younger age group. We are explaining them laws of the game. Like you can actually talk to them. You can have a chat with them and know how they are feeling or how they see football. Rather,
Hmm.
when I'm with them on the ground, we only talk about, oh, you have to do this, you could have done this, but now they tell us what they feel. And I think the team has
Correct.
come closer. And, like, it's actually a team in the truest sense. So we
Correct.
give
That's
technical
great.
sessions and a lot of intellectual sessions, informative sessions, telling them
Correct.
about world football at this age.
Correct.
So we are trying them to bombard them with information because this is the age where they can grasp.
Correct.
And if at this age, losing 6 months, see, because sport is an education, and losing six
Hmm.
months in their formative years is going to be detrimental in the long run. So,
Long
whatever
run.
we can from our side, we just send it to them, and then it is up to them how they manage the entire day.
Correct.
Yeah,
And it is also great to see, like around the world also, football has started. So that gives us hope, that very soon, we will
definitely.
also be in those, in those times. And I just saw one of the comments from one of your, kids, he said that, missing playing football in the rains is what he's missing. So absolutely, that is one of, that is the season, to play football. And, all the
Yeah, yeah,
football
yeah,
fans who are there
absolutely.
here.
Well, but they don't know, like in England, it rains almost 24/7. So when you play there, because people are of the mindset, okay, no, India, we have these 3 seasons. They don't know when you go back to the UK. It's
Correct.
actually, you're lucky if you see the sun. Suddenly it's
Correct.
windy and it's rainy. And the players
Yeah.
actually go there and play. So you enjoy yourself when you go out.
True, very true, very true. On coming to
Yeah.
that, the most important questions that a lot of parents here specifically for their kids would want to
Yes.
know is that
Yeah.
what is Orange Academy going to do in
Yes.
terms of so that the kids who will be coming post this COVID period to the football grounds, once it opens up, what are the SOPs that you're going to be setting up so that their kids are safe and they do not get infected and anything doesn't happen, which is which we, it's bad for, all of us. So what are the SOPs that Orange Academy are planning or, have come up with?
See, the thing is, when we resume, one thing is for sure, it's not going to be the same again.
Correct.
Like, so the first thing that we plan to do is, when we see signs of everything opening up, first we are going to have online sessions, and we'll try to prepare our kids mentally, because for us, we think that emotional, mental, psychological health is much more important,
Correct.
like for them, because see, a lot of kids that they were like, parents were actually integrating them into the social life, getting them to play as a team for the first time, and then abruptly
Correct.
everything stopped. So
Correct.
you can't answer the young kids as to why everything had to come to a halt. And then
Correct.
after 6 months, you get them back into the open, and they're meeting friends again. So we want them to have that sense of normalcy when they come back. So we'll try
Mm.
whatever we can. And like I said, see, this is going to be a joint effort from uh,
Mm.
the ground authorities where we play, the parents, the coaches, the kids, and yeah, the standard operating procedures. See, everything. Social distancing will become something which will be a
Correct.
norm, and we will have to
Yeah.
follow it until and unless we get the 100% solution in the form of a vaccine. So till then,
Correct.
social distancing norms have to be followed. So there will
Correct.
be protocols. So coaches, students wearing masks. It will be essential that we sanitize, like sanitizers at every, you can say every 30 meters. There's a sanitizing spot wherein you can send kids. Washrooms and everything have to be clean. We have to ensure all
Correct.
these things. Regular temperature checks. So these are the minimum things that we will have to ensure that we do when we go back to the ground. And yeah, the biggest thing, like I said, for us when we start, will be like we are very happy because we've got a very cooperative. Like we run at a school ground, so they are very cooperative,
Mm.
and
Correct.
they are responsible. So,
Mm.
and it's a huge ground. So it's a huge ground. So actually, for us, it will be possible to follow the social distancing norms when we start again.
Correct.
So the number of coaches, like earlier, the area, like it was 1:5, the area, if we were taking, for example, half a ground, now we will give them three-fourth of the ground. But
Correct.
it is possible we might have more batches, but with reduced number of kids. Rather than having
Hit
more
on.
kids and smaller, like a few batches, we'll have more batches and with fewer kids. And like
Correct.
even during our online sessions, we ensure that even if there are 20 kids for online sessions, we have at least 5 coaches. Because
Correct.
online it becomes very difficult to point out and like help each and every kid. So the
Correct.
coaches are doing a good job, and yeah, they are all waiting for to get back to training
Stand
their
back.
kids like they've been associated with for such a long time.
One more thing, on what you said, I just saw a bit of, emojis coming up. People are not happy when you said, going to have different batches, and they thought maybe, they would not be able to meet their friends. But just to reiterate on that, what the UK has done, the clubs in the UK where they had sessions,
Yes.
particularly for, defenders in the morning, strikers in the afternoon,
Yeah.
midfielders in the evening. And it is only to start on with, that is very important for the kids to know that it is not going to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like this for the
definitely.
entirety, but it
Yeah.
is only just to start on with, and it will be back to normalcy, isn't it?
See, the start is going to be the main goal is going to be we start small on a larger space, and
Correct.
gradually we'll try to integrate and assimilate everything, and we have all our players playing together. But yeah,
Together,
we
yeah.
will have to start small if we have to start. So then there
Great.
has to be a start somewhere.
Great. So, and it is really, one more thing, that, I think Orange Academy will also be looking at is taking inspiration from, the European football and where football has started. What are the SOPs that, they are following or they are followed in their academies, so that, we can implement them,
Absolutely,
try and implement them
absolutely.
here.
See, because anything that has worked and is giving results is something that we should incorporate in the way we are going
Correct.
to start. When we resume, like for example, Germany has done like very well when it has come to actually starting. They were the first ones to actually start, one of the major leagues to start, and it has given
Correct.
results. So it's no shame in following something that has actually given results.
Actually.
And we are talking here about safety. So it is not about who has done it first, it is about how safe we are. So
Correct.
everything we
Correct.
get, like any point from any league we get, we are just going to incorporate them and ensure maximum safety so that we
Yeah, true. And one more thing that I also read today, and it was so satisfying for me to see also was that I read that in the UK they are trying to get the fans back by October, which means they have already
Yeah,
worked out on a plan, and they
yes,
are now heading to
yeah,
the
yeah,
next stage. So it is something that we all have to learn from from those footballing nations.
yes. See, the thing over here is we were like in India, if you see the scenario, we were doing very well. But then when things opened up, we went back to how it was. Because the thing
Correct.
is, there was a sense that everything is fine, everything is over. It's not over till the last case gets solved. And we have to
Yeah,
be more responsible. If we are responsible, even we can get back to the playing field as
absolutely.
parents, as supporters, as spectators. But yeah, we have to ensure that till the time if we don't get the go ahead from the relevant authorities, we keep
Hmm.
following all the protocols. And like yeah,
Yeah,
we have been slack in some spaces in Mumbai. And oh, but hopefully people have learned their lesson and now everything
lessons.
is going
Yeah.
to be positive. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you said, it's all about looking after 4 months. It is only about looking to the positive side of it. On the positive note, I want to know, you've told us about, what football, how it has been for your academy, how hard it has been. What adaptation have you done for the kids to stay fit with their parents getting involved, and what you're going to do post
Yes.
when it starts. But I just want you to give me, or the audience, what is your message to them? What is your advice to them for the upcoming players? What should they do? What is your advice to them?
Uh, See, I would say at this point in time, because we've seen a lot of people, like kids have started off with their education, but for a lot of kids, they're still not uh, started working out.
Mm.
So, like I said, sport is a part of education, and physical exercise is very important
Correct.
because you can train yourself mentally, but physically also you need that exertion. So even if
Correct.
everything comes out like everything is at a standstill, like we have started with our education, sport also someday within the lockdown has to start, because kids actually need sport in their growing years, because physically their development is going to get hindered if they don't go out. And
Correct.
outfield sport is very important for them.
Important.
And like for parents, what we would say is, see, we have a plan. Like when it starts, like I said, for every parent their kid is important, is special.
Correct.
So we would want them, like the day when we start, we would want them to first come over and observe, like if the facility, the way we are going to do it, if it's right. Would
Safe.
want recommendations and feedback as to what more can we do. So that, see,
Correct.
because don't want, when you train and you get back into that zone, you don't want anything at the back of your head bothering you. You would want
Correct.
again to start training with an open, clear head. So,
Mm.
yeah, we will start small. We will ensure that all the safety protocols are in place. And
Mm-hmm.
like I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a joint effort. Like it's going to be from the parents, the coaches, us at the management level, the kids themselves, and even the ground authorities. Like how,
Correct.
because it is a cycle. Like everything is interconnected. So
Correct.
if when it is good at all the levels, it is going to give you results.
Correct. Very true.
And I'm
Very true.
very,
And
I'm very optimist. I'm an optimist. Like I think if like every person is missing sport right now.
correct.
So I
Correct.
would want them to follow everything and then going back, follow everything again. It will be different. The restrictions are going to be a few, but still follow them properly. So we
Great.
start
And
properly.
it is important, taking into consideration, the feedback from parents. It's so important so that they feel involved and they feel safe for their own kid. It is
Yes,
like the right step right now to do is taking them into consideration, asking, because even they are working in different
absolutely.
situations, so even they can, contribute towards it being more safer
Yes.
for the kids.
No, and see, whenever you want to make a plan foolproof, it is better to lay down the few instructions and get a feedback, because every
Mm.
point of view is important and you don't know how people, in what all sense, what can happen. So
Correct.
if you get their perspective in and if you can make it even better, why not?
Correct.
Definitely. Like every opinion is welcome.
Correct, correct. On that note, I have a question here, and I can just see there is this question from Keshav. Maybe a potential, you can have him or his kid coming to the academy. He asked, where do you give coaching to these kids? So where are your academies in Mumbai?
Yeah, so primarily we are in Mumbai. We are basically like predominant, and in Powai we are at Hiranandani at IIT. Then you get that Nahar, which is in Chandivali. So we train at
Okay.
Nahar International School, and apart from this, we are based at LNT as well. LNT, and then finally in Bhandup. So Bhandup, there's
Okay.
a single turf, like one of the few turfs. Like actually, it's the only turf, and we train at that location. So we are
Okay.
spread, but the thing is, we don't want to be everywhere. We want to have a few centers because you can't expect the same level of work everywhere, and we don't work too much on our plate, wherein we can't personally manage them because the level
Correct.
of coaching everywhere has to be consistent. So we have
Correct.
a few
Correct.
locations and we are happy. We don't want to go beyond our means to be
Correct.
everywhere. Yeah, because like I said, we have got teams playing in the men's division, the professional approach,
Yeah.
and we want enough kids who keep representing us at that level. So we are
Correct.
more than happy even with the number of kids
Correct.
we've got.
No,
Yes.
which is true, and it is again a step-by-step process, even for you as an academy. You
Yes,
take it
absolutely.
year on year, and that is what you do. So, which is completely fine. Just for the the people who audience who are watching us, if you have any questions, so that we can ask Satyajit, please do messages, because we are coming to the end of the discussion. So, if you have any questions, this is the right time. On that
Yes,
note,
please.
Satyajit, you and like, that is Orange Academy and Decathlon has been associated for the last 2 years. So,
Yes.
what has your experience been, associated with being associated with Decathlon? So, if you can tell us what is your experience been?
See, we as an academy, we have grown over the last 2 years, and Decathlon is a brand. It's a worldwide brand.
Correct.
So, winning over them, gaining their trust, and then working with them has been a very joyful experience for us because they have supported us at a lot of levels, be it organizing tournaments for the underage groups, and like we've organized around 3 tournaments till now. So this year we organized the Golden Baby League, which is accredited by the AIFF, and
Correct.
Decathlon was a part of it. It was called the Trainers Cup. So they are
Mm-hmm.
helping us spread and promote grassroots football. And
Great.
even at this time, like to be very honest, Decathlon, I think the online work done by Decathlon in supplying equipment at this point in time has helped a lot of players and athletes at this moment. We are using resistance bands, loop bands, um, then Thera bands, then kettlebell, this medicine ball. See, these are the things that you need to train at home. These
Correct.
are the things you can use indoor, and we would
Correct.
like we always recommend. And our entire like after being in a partnership with Decathlon, all our athletes have basically we've seen to it because there is something that as a player you need, which is durability, and this
Hmm.
is what we have experienced with Decathlon. And absolutely, there's no compromising on the quality of the products. And if in case there's ever been a problem, we all know like we get it replaced. So that is the
Correct.
best thing when you need when you are growing as a sports person. So
Mm-hmm.
we are very proud of our affiliation with Decathlon, and like it's been a fruitful process, and hopefully it continues for a long period of
Yes.
time. Yep.
Great.
And
So, also, what? Yeah. Please go
yeah,
on. Please
please
go on.
continue.
No, no, go
Yeah,
on.
and one more thing, like I wanted to add, this is for all the kids in the under 16 and like 16 and above, the professional players. See, this is a time we know it's very difficult for everyone, like for us as well. Like Karthik over there, us we're not able to do a lot of things. But the thing is,
Correct.
physical activity and fitness is very important the day we get back to the playing field. And for
Uh-huh.
any sport, even football, for being a professional, patience, like you say, it's a virtue, and it is something you
Mhm.
need to have it. So, mental health and being physically strong, I would recommend with your mental health and balance right now. And for footballers, just imagine, see, when you play, and there comes a time where you actually don't play, not in the level, in the playing
Hmm.
11. But you are expected that your standards don't drop, and you keep training for that one day when you start again. I want
Correct.
you all to take in take this into perspective and train like now when you are there in the lockdown. you should have that level of fitness that tomorrow when everything opens up, you're fit enough to play again. So have
Correct.
that thing, okay, now I'm not getting my chance, but you should be ready for that day when everything opens, that you're fit enough to go back and play directly.
Correct.
Because
Correct. And
and
on that note, Satyajit, one thing that comes to my mind, and we'll just quickly wrap up with the last two
yes, please.
questions. One thing
Yeah.
that comes to my mind is that what happened again, because we can, look to European football, whereas as soon as they started, there was a lot of injuries. So what
Yes,
are
yes,
you
yes.
doing in terms of, preventing those injuries for kids and, your under 16, under 18, and what are you doing with their diet also?
Yes. See, when it comes to these guys, like we've been working with them, like I said, we've been working with them for a few years now. So with some for at least 7, 8 years. So we know what their body needs and how they've grown over the years. And the
Correct.
second thing is we know the level of physical activity they are involved in. So because you can't do the same workout that you used to do when you are actually playing, because that is more and that is going to give you stiffness. So with all our
Correct.
consultants, like with fitness experts and all, we have curated and made a regime for them as to what they have to follow, and every
Correct.
week they have to talk to their coaches as to how it's going ahead with them. And when you say physical activity for the under 16s and 18s, form and posture is very important. So
Very
this is
important.
something we really work upon with all these guys. So kids have had one-on-one sessions as well, and we have tried to help them as much as
Great. Yeah, it is as much as you can do.
it is the wrong way is going to have repercussions. So
Correct.
do it properly. And like we said, we are also practicing social distancing. So small
Yeah.
group, fewer coaches, but trying to give them 100% result.
Correct. Correct. Which is
Yes.
great, and which is very important to keep them going. And also one last thing, before we wrap up, and I tell the audience who are eagerly listening to you and your opinions. Uh, what is there Orange Academy going to go in the future, and going to start out different sports apart from football, just for others to
Yeah,
come
see,
and
we are
join.
already training schools, and we have started our basketball program for the first time, and along with the cricket program. So in these things, see, in football, like since I am the founder and I am actively involved, I am not an expert in basketball or cricket. So we are tying up with the right professionals, and we would want these sports to take the same amount of time, like the 4 years we took to set up the football academy, but to
Correct.
proceed in the right way, so that tomorrow
Correct.
in these sports we have the people who are coming up, we groom them in the right way.
Ah,
See, it is from an amateur level to a professional level. So you want them to have that right and steady growth. So we
correct.
don't want to take any chances by doing something in a haphazard way, or you don't want to skip the level of growth. Like you can't take them from level A to level Z directly. It has
Correct.
to go systematically.
Step
So
by
yeah,
step.
we are. It is going to take time, and like surely but steadily we are going to take everything into perspective, and our experience from how we set up the football academy, we're going to
Correct.
use it, and similarly we are going to work it out in the other sports like basketball and cricket as well.
That's nice. That's nice. One last question, Satyajit, before I let
Yes,
you
please,
go. And I'm sorry because we are getting a lot of questions from either your people
please,
who have
please,
come to
please.
watch and listen to you. So one last question is
Yes.
that is there any particular tips that you would like to give for online classes? How do you do it? What are the tips? What are the best practices that you do?
uh, See, what I would recommend, see, first of all, it is going to vary, like I can't generalize it, it varies age groups, but the minimum that you can do is, first of all, the kind of equipment that you have, like it's available, like even if you're practicing football, if there are no cones and markers, you can use various objects like small bottles or shoes. So you decide how much space you want to dedicate it, like towards your
Correct.
fitness. So that is the first thing you want to do. And then for people who are taking inspiration from online classes, we would say don't keep changing your classes or your instructors. Be consistent. If
Uh,
you're following one person, just follow that one person. Because once you get habituated to it and you think that, okay, this is not giving me results, see, after a certain time, everything takes time to give you results. So you can't
correct.
keep switching between different forms of exercise. So, guys, take your time, have some patience aspect to it, and yeah, ensure like when it comes to food, because you can work out, you can do everything, but if you don't have the balanced diet for it, it is not going to give you a lot of results.
Correct.
So when
Correct.
you eat, eat something which is light, which is healthy, uh, because the time like now with the rainy season on, the weather outside is gloomy. Yeah, I know, and you don't get the chance to go out and play. So just have patience, have faith, and yeah, if you have the ball, this is the right time to practice your close control, different
Correct.
skills as to how to grab the ball, control the ball, or take different kinds of touches. See the weight of the ball. Only a person can decide for himself how he traps the ball and what
Correct.
kind of control or how he feels the ball. So the day your touch and the ball becomes the same, that is the day when you can play at any level.
Absolutely. It is the first touch that is the most important, isn't it? Like the
Yes.
first
So,
touch
and
that
you
you
have
take.
time,
Very
guys. You
important.
all have time right now, a lot of time. So, and the best friend that you can have right now with the ball is a wall. So use the wall. It is going to be responsive. Your action is going to get a reaction, and use it. This is the best
Okay.
that we can do, and yeah, we have to live within our means. Like whatever is that there for us, we have to use it to the full extent.
Correct.
Something from this period, whatever you gain from this period, see, it is whatever you can. But if you use this time, help you in some way, definitely.
Correct. Correct.
Yes.
One final question. Again, I'm very one final
No
thing.
problem.
Just thought
Sorry.
that came to my head. Uh,
Yes.
what is how are you the coach and a player, because these are times, like you said, we have to follow social distancing and all, and you said there are one-to-one sessions. So how
Yes.
often are you having these one-to-one sessions, and in these
Uh,
one-to-one sessions, what are the main ingredients that you're talking with the players?
See, so here we've got a batch that is, you can say, a basic batch, an intermediate batch, and an elite batch. So this is, so the first thing, it's very different from how major academies deal with the
Mm-hmm.
the pricing. Like when it was post lockdown, prior to the lockdown, everything, the prices were the same. Like all of a sudden, I can't say my coaching is better in the elite batch and my coaching for the basic. So it is a uniformity. Just the thing is, the progressing at a time get pushed up the batches. So if you have become much better and if you're in the basic batch, we push them to the
Mm-hmm.
intermediate batch, them to the elite batch. And here
Okay.
we know like the number of like a course is assigned to a particular group. Like even when they do the exercises, we nowadays kind of give them a homework as to what they do on the day we are not training, and they have to send it
Correct.
to their respective coaches who help them,
Uh-huh.
call them, get one-on-one in touch with them. So and we have done a few, but we are going to have more sessions. Like soon we are going to have sessions from experts for all our kids, because this is
Ah,
the time to slowly incorporate new things. So like I
correct.
said earlier, even our perspective has changed. Now we know what more we can offer them, because
Correct.
digital life is going to be a part of it, and like that
For
legacy
a
is going
long
to
time.
continue on. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So we can use it to
But
our
how
advantage.
important is it, Sadhvi, to have that connect between a coach and a player? How important the
It is
communication or the
very, very,
relationship? How
very
important is it?
important. It is the actually the most important thing. See, once you become a professional player, then it is up to your the team that you have and the players you're playing with. But before that, till you're part of an academy team, the
Mm,
kids basically, the coach becomes more important for them, even like more important than their parents. So we have
okay.
seen cases wherein parents have called the coach and told him ki matlab, we are going to tell him that he has to do it, and the coach has asked him to do it, and then it becomes easier for them, because a
Correct.
kid who's into football actually starts idolizing. They start idolizing their coaches. So the coaches are
Uh,
a big part. So it is how they want to basically groom their kids. So they have absolute control over them. And if the coach, like with every, like if the intention is right and there's honesty in work and you really want to push the kid ahead, you can take him to any level. And that personal
correct.
connect, like the most important thing to get them back to the ground after safety, is going to be how much does the kid want to come back to football.
Back. Mm,
And that will clearly depend on his equation with his coach and
correct.
the chemistry that the player has with his teammates. I
Limits.
know everyone is itching to just get back to the playing
Come
field,
back.
and yeah, the
Especially because
coaches
it's the
deserve.
rainy season.
Sorry, yeah, absolutely. No, and the thing is, I know these guys are itching to come down, and I would say it is completely down to the coaches. It is only because of them, because of their hard work throughout the years. that like it is giving us results right now. And the coach is the most, like in football, the coach is the most important person.
Important.
Like for me, my coach, like from like wherever I am today, like his involvement and his guidance.
Hmm.
See, you take, after some time you have your own ideas, but in your formative years, like you have many ideas, but you don't know the path. So he's the guiding light that shows you the path, and then you
Correct.
follow your own.
Correct.
So
Correct. Great, great. It was such a variety of opinions from you coming, and I think that coming from UK, getting all those knowledge back to India and
absolutely.
implementing it, it has really
Respecting
really helped.
respecting your coaches, respecting your teammates is one thing which
Absolutely
changed my attitude completely. Like when I was in the UK, I think more and more such courses have to be like unity and diversity, respecting everyone. And like you see the case of Black Lives Matter, like this is something we have to inculcate in all our kids
correct.
through education. Like all are equal and all need equal chances, and the talent has to talk on the ground.
Also, I
Not
think discipline, for the sport is very important. Having that
absolutely
discipline for the
discipline.
sport.
You can't have a team. See, whether it's the army or it's a football team or any team, if there's no discipline, you don't have a team.
Correct.
Discipline is the
Correct.
foundation basically of team. And see, you might be the best player in the world, yourself the best player if you're sitting outside, because it has to be showcased on the ground. And if you don't respect your teammates, your game never comes up.
Correct. Very true. Very true. On that note, Satyajit, thank you very much. It has been a great session, and I hope for the viewers also, it has been something that they can take back and think and join your academy and your online classes. On that note,
Yes.
I had promised at the start that we have something a surprise for everyone at the end of the session. So
Yes.
we are running Decathlon is running a lucky draw. So if you
Okay.
want to be associated with that lucky draw, and that is for everyone who is watching this, if you want to be associated with that lucky draw, please tag at least 2 people with this video, and
Yes.
then we will send you a personal message with that voucher code, which you can utilize in your when you want to buy a football or a stud or a ladder, whatever you want to buy, you just put in that particular voucher code, and if you're lucky, you get a voucher code which you can redeem at any Decathlon store. So I
No, it's
hope for the
really,
viewers
really,
that is
really good.
something that they can really take away apart from what Satyajit has said.
Yes.
So great,
So
Satyajit.
thank you
Again,
so
thank
much.
you very
Like it will
much.
be nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good for all the viewers.
Great,
And
great.
guys,
Thank you very
your
much.
time. Yes.
Great.
Okay. Welcome. Yes.
Bye, bye, bye,
Bye.
Satyajit.
Bye, Karthik. Thank you.